Here we are again, it's Wes York, and you're 2 parts down of the 3-part video. Now what's next? The next part of this video is all about making sure that you retain your client for the rest of your life and your business's life. See, there's nothing worse than doing a great sales presentation and then the client only purchasing once. You need to make sure that you have this client for the rest of your life. You want to make sure they keep repeating and purchasing from you. There's nothing worse than doing all this hard work and only getting that one sale out of it. So my whole philosophy is to make sure that we do the correct presentation all the way through to the end, so therefore our client or our prospect become our best advocate. So this next part video is all about making sure we retain this client for life. So therefore we talk about what we do after they've purchased from us. We also talk about how social media is going to influence the purchasing decision and how social media can also retain your clients for the rest of their life. So guys and girls, this is an absolute critical part, because we all know once you have your client, it's a lot cheaper to retain that client than to go and try and find new prospects out there. So listen to this, watch this next video. It's absolutely jam-packed again. You're gonna love it. Thanks again. Share your friends, tell your friends, and again, have a happy selling day. Make heaps of money, put profit into your back pocket. Make sure you're #1 in your game, and have a great month.
And then for life. So is this information so far? Is everyone getting plenty of notes? Yeah. Awesome. Statistics show that it takes 5 engagements to get a sale across the board for every product and service. However, 95% of salespeople, which is all of us, right, stop after the second. So what does that mean to us then? As long as I'm the 5% and I go a few more times, I'm going to be better off than everyone else. How many times do you hear someone say a negative comment about a service or a product or a company that they're unhappy with? All the time. So as long as I know I need to go 5 times in a sales engagement and I can deliver on my promise, I'm going to be a superstar. Because 99% of the people out there can't do that. But it's a mental and conscious decision to actually do it. It's really easy to do. Just do it. So what I've put up here, and I know Crystal is going to be talking about Facebook marketing a bit later on, so I'm not going to steal her thunder, but I wanted to put a little bit in here, because with what we do here, Facebook's the easiest, fastest medium to communicate with everyone. Who's got the phone on them? Who's got a phone on them? Who's got a smartphone? Who's on Facebook? Okay, can you all pull your phone out and jump onto Facebook and go into Wes York and like it? That's mine. Come on, and I've got something very special for one lucky person. So when I see all these likes, we're going to clog up Facebook for a second, and I'm going to give away. Hey, thank you. I'm going to give away one of my packages at the end. Come on. I don't have to give it away. Hey, that's better. So, hey, fantastic. Who's already liked Wes York page? There's plenty then that haven't. Then what I want you to do, then I want you to share it. Bit of a plug for Wes there anyway. Alright, while that's happening, I've got Noel at the back here, he can check to see all the likes coming through. Here's some stats about Facebook, and this is why it's critical that you use Facebook to engage your clients. Because I only have them for special people. The reason why Facebook is critical is because every single day, the average person looks at their Facebook page 14 times. I better not pick on my wife here. Oh, I'm getting the death stare. The second reason why it's critically important is the average person who's on Facebook looks at their Facebook within 15 minutes of waking up. Everyone, yeah, I can agree with that. So why is this important to me? If you try and phone someone, how often do you screen someone's phone call? Always. Your work emails or your personal emails. You don't have to respond, do you? Some people don't look at their emails for 2 or 3 days. But if you want to engage with your clients, that means on Facebook, they're going to be seeing what you wrote to them within 15 minutes of them waking up. And they look at their Facebook at least 14 times a day. So if you want to deliver on your promise, when you leave a client, jump on Messenger, get their Facebook, like them, jump on Messenger and say, hey, thanks, great to meet you. You start the dialogue. The next day, how'd you go? A week later, hey, I'm still with you, I'm still here to help you. Give me a call if you need anything. They see what you write to them. So you only need to take one step when it comes to servicing your clients, and Facebook is the easiest medium. And Chris was going to talk about it, so that's about all I'm going to say on Facebook. Who agrees with that? Who knew those stats? Do you know 1.65 billion people are on Facebook? 890 million active Facebook users per day. Massive. You've only got to get good at one SEO, and that's Facebook. And connect with your clients. Use it as your tool to help your clients. Make sense? All right. Oh. So this is my part. Now, actually, no, before I get to this, who wants to hear my best negotiating deal I've ever done? Who wants to hear that? Alright, this is a bit personal about me, so it gives you a bit of a gauge of where I've come from and why I actually do what I do here. Did we figure if we can get on the internet? Can we do it? If we can't, it doesn't matter. Anyway, a couple of years ago, see, my goal about 10, 15 years ago was to buy a self-storage facility. Who's ever put their stuff in storage before? See, everyone does. That's why I loved it. So I started my goal about, about 13 years ago now, that I wanted to purchase a self-storage facility because of the fact that people just come and put their stuff in there and they forgot about it, and 3 years later they've been paying a monthly fee, and then they realise that they've got this stuff in storage. So 2 and a bit years ago, I purchased a self-storage facility up in Toowoomba. Where's my Toowoomba friends? Anyone here? A couple. Chinchilla, there you go. So I purchased a self-storage facility up in Toowoomba. Now when it went on the market, they were asking over $6 million for it. Yeah. But I wasn't paying $6 million, couldn't do it. So I waited and I put my strategy together, I waited, and I ended up purchasing the facility for $3.5 million. So that sales engagement and the strategies that I used saved me over $2.5 million. But the reason why I tell you that, isn't to big note what I have. It's to tell you, this is why I do what I do up here. Because I don't actually have to work. My wife and I could retire now at 37 and travel the world with what Toowoomba brings in. So then, within 2 years from that happening is when my coaching really started to pick up. Because it's actually a love and a passion. I want to help as many people out as possible. And that's why I can have come into events like this, and for a great friend like Crystal, I can put my package at a really, really cheap price to try and help as many people out as possible. So that's why I want to share that. Look at there. It's not about what I have out there. It means then what I can actually do and help out as many people as possible. So this is what my package is. Under someone's chair is an envelope. Ah, who's got the envelope? Who has the envelope? Hey, come on up, come on up. And bring your little one, it's all cool. No spider's going to jump out. Open it up, please. What's your name? Dawn, how are you doing? I'm Wes. Pleased to meet you.
Congratulations. Something is free, but I need my glasses.
So you've won. Congratulations. What I'm about to explain now. Well, we better make sure we do this really quick. All right. So this is what you've won. At my office, and what I'm about to present today, I'm very rarely going to do this in the future. So I've got a boardroom which holds about 15 people, overlooking the city, level 8. How nice is it, Crystal? That's sensational. I'm going to conduct a one-day training for a very, very small amount of people. Now, if there's more than one group, I can do more than one group, but the nice thing is it's a very enclosed circuit. I don't want to sit there and train everyone here and do it in 50 people in one room because you're not going to get the connection. So you're going to be there with me one day. I don't know, we'll figure that out. All right. Now she's put me on the pump here, isn't she? This week, we'll talk. We'll figure it out. I'm just trying to think in my head when I can do it. We're off to Vietnam on Friday. Whereabouts are you moving to? Tasmania. Oh, we'll work somewhere. Maybe. Or maybe come back up here. Actually, no, I've got this. We'll work this. Okay, so this is what we're doing. One day training. That's all semantics. We can work that out. Small groups. I don't want a big group. I was just telling Alan before, I've actually developed a day to match your product and to match what you guys sell. And I've developed a workbook around it which you get to keep. This one here I just throw in there. I do 3 months of motivation. I send emails, I'll do the Facebook, I send ebooks and things like that. So every sort of month, fortnight, just matter when I have stuff, I give it to everyone in my group as well, just to keep me motivated and keep me moving. And you also get a copy of my book, and I've got about 20 here, and the rest, you'll get them on the day. So congratulations, we'll work out a day. Gordon, you come up too, mate. So can you two just head over to see Karen and Hayley and just to fill in the form so we've got you registered there. And I'll work out a time. Alright, so here's the...
I'm going to jump through. Just while everyone's organising that for Wes, and I will say Crystal, even though Crystal used to be trained, both Crystal and myself will be attending those as well. We've already done it. We organised that this morning so we didn't have to line up. It's sneaky. What I want to do is try and get some questions to really put Wes under the pump. Specific questions linking to Isogenics, linking to sales. So if you guys have some questions relating to anything that he's taught, something separate in regards to sales, just raise your hand, I'll hand you guys the mic.
Hi Wes, how you doing? I'm Jason.
Hi Jason.
Do you in the step process that you use, do you use any pre-qualifying or qualifying people before you know how to approach them and talk to them?
Absolutely. Depending on the client that I go and train, that's probably one of the first things we look at, which is your pre-qualifications before you go and see a prospect client or with what you're selling the clients that you go to. I guess for the Isogenics here though, the price point's pretty cheap. So I think the prospecting and and the qualifications you need to would be pretty small. I wouldn't get too worked up, especially that they're buying their food anyway and the cost can substitute. So I wouldn't go too much into that.
That'd be for maybe the warm clients. What about cold? What about cold clients or cold prospects?
In which, how do you get in your clients?
I mean, well, all different areas, but it could be someone on a train or someone in a supermarket, or I mean, how do you use any specific?
Oh, look, if I was doing that, I would it'd be a short interaction, be like the step 2, but then I'd follow up with a phone call, email, and then I'd set it up from there.
Yeah,
I wouldn't sit there in a program with what you guys are. I wouldn't try and meet someone for the very first time, never met them before, and try and then go all the way through the process. I'd set it up as just an introduction, and then go and step through with an email, phone call, talk to them, send some little bit of information, and then I'd go from there. Yeah, definitely, I wouldn't go from start to finish.
Yeah. Thanks.
Awesome. Straight across.
Yeah. What are like the top, say, 5 signs that someone's either really put off or really like encouraged by the product? You know, when you're engaging with them, like how?
They just ask you buying questions. You know, so how much is it? You know, you can see by their body language that they're really active with you.
Yeah.
What the challenge? It's pretty easy to see someone who's got a clear buying sign. The challenge that salespeople have is they jump too quick and ask for the order too fast. You know, the old saying was, you know, if someone's ready to buy, ask them then. However, that's really not the best principle. You know, you've got to have that at the back of your mind. But you've got to make sure you've done the right processes there. You just got to make sure you keep them engaged. The second part to that is if they become disengaged, it's because we're talking too much. We're explaining the product too much and they're actually going further away from the sale. You've got to bring them back in by asking questions and getting them back involved. Yeah.
Awesome.
What are some examples people can use, because it's very important to tap into that emotional, what's the right word to explain it? What you were talking about, how it's not about the price, it's about emotional.
Yep.
What are some ways people can learn to do better or start for the first time tapping into people's emotions?
It's really at the start when I was talking about that information confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
It's really about engaging your client from the start and really listening to what they have to say. I think now after we've learned a little bit today, people will be a bit more adapt to trying to find that dominant buying motive and going, okay, that's the most important thing to them. And then once they find that, that client's emotional state goes up quite a lot because you're talking about that quite a lot. So it's really about the active listening at the start. That's a great question. You know, so that's probably my advice for not getting too in depth. You know, that's quite a couple of hours training. But that's probably the easiest answer.
Okay, so if you knew my emotional thing was I'm embarrassed to go to the beach, like, you know, that was my most important thing.
Yeah.
How would you really bring that out for me?
Well, I'd have to ask you, obviously, a series of questions before that. Obviously, what are your goals? What are your weight loss goals? You know, how do you feel your confidence would be when you achieve those goals? But then I would sort of bring that at the end. I'd sort of say, okay, so what's your name again?
Jackson.
Jackson, that's right. I would be like, okay, Jackson, so let's put yourself in the picture for a little bit. Let's say we're 6 months down the track and you've reached your goals each month. You're looking great, you've lost your weight, your confidence is up, you know, your skin's cleared up and everything like that. Do you reckon you'd have the ability to walk down the beach then?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I'd go from there.
Easy.
So I'd set it up as a process.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Great question, great question. And for everyone who listens, that's a really important answer and quick question to answer there because that's what you guys do every single day. Yeah.
Anyone else? Look out. Stretch, Wes.
No. It's very often that people do get to the how much is it before they've gone through those processes.
Yes.
And I'm constantly asked, you know, how do we take the process back then? Is there any sort of tips you could give us on how to take it backwards?
What a great question. Everything that you sell, whether it be cars, houses, what doesn't matter, this comes up every single time. Someone wants to know the price before you really explain a lot of the details and nitty-gritties and find out information about them. First of all, we need to understand why they're asking that question. Is it because of the fact that they just want to get the price to say no to you, which is usually the case? Because if they're hot and they want to know the price, they're probably going to sign up then anyway and purchase. So the way to combat that is just bring it back on them. Okay, so let me ask you first, what does it love about the product? What does it love you about the service? Okay, can you explain this part of the product for me? Let's make sure you understand, because I want to make sure that I service my clients well and you understand exactly what you're going to be having in the future. So just tell me a bit what you understand about it. So then they've got to start thinking, oh, what they tell me? Oh, I'm not too sure. And they will stumble on certain areas, which gives you that chance to get back in there. Yeah. Never give them a price. Yeah. So if you just take that one step, that will work 50-60% of the time. Which means you're 50-60% better off than what you were before we talked about the question. So great question, well done.
Just on that as well, Wes, I'll just jump in as well and ask another question on that. So we're talking about logic and emotion, and you're talking about the price there. So at any point, or what point, do you use the logic of the guarantee? Is that only at the end, or do you ever throw that in subliminally seeding the logical stuff, or it's really just going to come down to emotion?
The only time I'd ever bring the guarantee in is at the very, very end, if you just need that last little confidence of the product, to give them it gives them a little bit of an out more than any. So okay, if you tried, there's a money back guarantee. That's at the very end, because if you start bringing that in too early, you're devaluing the product. They need to have the emotional buy-in before they really hear about a money back guarantee or anything like that.
And do you think that then affects them being a long time
100%.
user by actually selling them on the point of, hey, use it, if it doesn't work, send it back, impacts the long term?
Well, I haven't done the stats for ISGs, but I'm pretty sure I could do the stats reasonably easy, which is if you had to pitch the money back guarantee, the chance of them being a long-term client would be minimal. 5%, 10%.
It's just a sealer in effect.
Yeah, they're never going to last for a long time, because they purchase for the wrong reasons. They didn't purchase for the emotional reasons, they purchased because there's an out clause. And there is no out clause. You know, it's your health, there isn't an out clause, so we shouldn't be able to... Like, it's a nice thing there, but you're not going to hit it hard. But it also then comes to, which is, that question leads into one more thing, which comes back to our own prejudging. You know, sometimes we feel we need to explain that to get the client in, because we prejudged, you know, their financial situation or their emotional situation, and it's usually us that bring that up. So we can't prejudge people. You know, if you want to extend your downline and you want to start to generate income, you don't know whether it be 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, where your client's situation is going to be. You know, how often do we sit there and tell them that, you know, when you start to get in this, you can have people pay for your products. You know, there is a chance down the track, if you put your mind to it, you could actually earn a little bit of money. But I'm not going to present that to you, but there is a chance down the track, and we give everyone the opportunity and let them know, because then they'll come back somewhere down the track and ask us those questions. And that's when you start to develop a downline. But you've got to give your client the opportunity to be able to do that, and you've got to bring that up. But when it's trust, you know, so you don't hit them hard on it, but you at least bring it to the surface. Where a lot of people don't even bring it to the surface, because in their head they think, oh, they're just going to be product users. No, you're doing a disservice to your clients. Allow them to make the choice, but what you're doing is subliminally put those messages into their mind as well. Because we don't know in 2 months or 3 months where they've lost some weight, they're looking fantastic. You know, their friends, their work colleagues say, how are you doing that? How's that happened to you? You look great, you know. Can I do the same? And then it sort of expands from there. So give them the opportunity. Don't prejudge.
Last question, guys. Anyone else got a burning question?
G'day, Wes. With your slide up there where you had agitate the problem, and your last point was use trial closes.
Yes.
Are you referring there to like try one close and then reassess it later on and see if it worked or not? And then is that what you mean by trial closes?
Great question. The trial closes is more the fact, loaded with Gordon, okay, so at the end of say, if the package is affordable, would you love to become part of the program? So I just started to test whether he was interested or not. So trial closes would be simply, guys, okay, so when we get to the end, you know, can you see yourself starting to use Isagenix and start to, you know, regain your health back? and then you're just going to get a lot of little yeses as you go through the process. Yeah. But the thing is, and the reason why I didn't really go too deep into that is because with what you guys present, it's not a big thing. But it's also, you need to be conscious of what you are doing as part of the process. But we teach that in the day program, how to actually do that where it's not even closing, it's not even trial closes. The clients are giving you that commitment all the way through. Great question.
Awesome. Just before Wes goes there, we've just got a little gift for you. Just to say thank you. So I just got a little gift. Something small. So a big round of applause for Wes. I'm just going to get, before Wes moves, I just want to get from you guys just a few shout outs. Not just yet, or I suppose firstly, a few shout outs on what you've actually taken away. What have you actually learned from Wes that you know you can now move forward and take your Isagenix business to the next level? Does anyone want to give us a couple of... Agitate. Awesome. The process. So there is actually a process to think about and reflect on. Absolutely. Sorry, information confirmation. Yeah, awesome. Listen to people. Yep. The buying pattern. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Everyone's different. I love that. Buy storage units. Use your Isagenix money for it. Listen. Listen. Logic and emotion. Trial and error. Learn, reflect, isn't it? Listen to them and reflect. So lots of takeaways there. Last thing I want to do before we give Wes an absolute standing ovation, I want to just give us a few words about Wes. What did you guys feel as Wes is up here? Throw some words at me of what you felt about Wes. He's authentic, inspiring. Nice suit, sweet, isn't it? I was thinking the same in the shirt. Energetic, natural, genuine, knowledgeable. Yeah, it's obvious, isn't it? Giving, confident, funny. Look at this, we could be here all day, mate. We're going to be running over time. In all seriousness as well, though, guys, I know there was a lot of people that signed up for Wes's course. We were just down in Sydney at the National Achievers Conference, and when Wes genuinely says the value for $540, people are selling courses that are not giving even, like we sat there with some of the presentations that were not even remotely close to the amount of value that we received and learning, that were selling them for $3,000, $4,000, that were going to be presented amongst hundreds of people, not 13 people. So to me, when Wes told me before I'd even seen him present, it was a no-brainer that we're going to experience and find out more and learn from Wes. So big Isagenix standing ovation for Wes.